see if we can get anybody in here at this time of night. But I wanted to talk about how it all started, which is a common question I get. I know y'all are waiting on zodiac signs to get finished, and they will. But I wanted to address this question because, well, it's a very common question I get. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a backstory. Damn it, this button does not want to button up. Like this shirt's broke. Oh, no wonder it's got a slit right there. That's why it doesn't say button. Fuck a duck, right? Okay, so how this all started. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. So before there was a Tyler's Tarot, before there was a Tyler's Tarot, I was a normal person. I was just Tyler, right? I was just Tyler, and so I was poor as hell. I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. I do this video 2 or 3 times a year because people keep asking this question. This is a common asked question. How did this all start for you? Well, let's go for it. Let's go for it. By the way, hello, it's Tyler's Tarot in the house, and I'm headed to a reading today, and tell you how it all started. Hey. All right. So it's almost 2 o'clock here in Las Vegas. It's 2 o'clock here in Las Vegas, and well, I thought, well, why not just do a video? I didn't feel like doing a reading, but I said, I can at least do a talk video. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. So how this all started. So I am a native of Georgia. I'm from the United States. I was born March 28th, 1989. And I've always been a really big social outcast. And I have stranger danger out the ass, right? And so I never thought in a million years that this would be something I would do or I would be successful at it. And so right before I had started Tyler's Tarot, it was probably the shittiest 2 years prior to Tyler's Tarot. Keep in mind, I started this November of 2016. And prior to that, it was the shittiest years I had ever had. I was like 27 at the time, 26, 25. Just the shittiest years of my life. Like being backstabbed, being ridiculed, being I couldn't get nobody to give me the time of day to save my fucking life. Honestly, couldn't get anybody to give me the time of day. So long story short, not really long story short, I got time to talk because I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm actually about to get on the road again. I'm heading to California in the morning, but I just thought I'd get on here and talk about this. So now I'm 30, but anyways, I can't fucking talk. I should have had a coffee before this, but actually, 1 second. Oh, that's all decaf. Fuck a duck. There's a coffee maker in the room, but it's all decaf. Let me see if they have it right. 1 second, y'all. Damn it, it's all decaf. Fuck. Anyways, let's get to it. So I had been working 9 to 5 jobs or like little odd jobs throughout my whole 20s. And I've been working since I was 16 years old. I did odd jobs throughout my whole entire, teenage years, going into my 20s, mid 20s, so on and so forth. And I'm telling you, I was broke as fuck. There was times where I was homeless. When I was homeless, I was staying from family member's house to family member's house. Like I said, I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. And I was homeless, had no money. I remember at some point even having to decide whether I was gonna buy food that day or cigarettes. 'Cause to me, both are a necessity. Food and cigarettes. Cigarettes are a necessity to me. Just being broke as a joke and having to live from place to place. There have been times where it almost got to a point where I had to sleep in my car. I was homeless, literally. And, I would stay from family member's house to family member's house, working these odd jobs, what paying me shit, $7, $8 an hour. In Georgia, the minimum wage is like $7.25, $7.50. And sorry, y'all, I'm just kind of like dragging this on, but I have time. I have time. Well, love has not been an arena in my life that has been the best. To me, it's always been unrequited. And I'm not that spiritual, so I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I just always had this saying, okay, this was meant to be, because I would always give love and not receive it back. I've always been a victim of that, and it carried out throughout my whole teenage years. Never been on a date. Keep that in mind. Never been on a date. Never been with anybody. Never been in a relationship. Nothing. But I would always fall for these. I don't want nobody. How come you always talk about how you were in love before? Yes, you can be in love and not be with somebody. It's called unrequited love. You can be in love, all day and twice on Sundays, but it doesn't mean it's going to be requited, right? So, the very last love that I experienced, because I haven't been in love in like 3 years. But the last time I fell in love, it was with a coworker. Do not, and I repeat, do not fall in love in the workplace. Worst mistake you'll ever make. Well, and then at that time I started getting into tarot videos. Tarot videos. And I would watch them like y'all do, watch them back to back. I don't watch them that much anymore. I mean, every now and then I'll tune into a tarot reading, but I would watch them back to back to back to back to back. And I would start learning the cards. So when I would watch these readers, because back then tarot was not as mainstream as it is now. I mean, it's not necessarily mainstream to the fullest, but it's mainstream enough to where it's like very popular now, and I watched it when it was very underground. It was like an underground part of YouTube that barely anybody watched. And I had been watching it for like a year prior to me making a channel. So literally, when it was underground, nobody knew about it. And I started learning the cards, started learning the meanings, and then I would also buy books. I'd buy tarot decks, and I would read the books, and I would see what the meanings are, all that. So keep in mind, at this time, I'm dealing with the shittiest time of my life. My car was on its last leg, even though now it's still running, which is by the grace of the car guides. My mama has it. I gave it to my mama, my old car, and it's still on the road to this day, believe it or not. But my car was not at the best. I was living paycheck to paycheck. Like I said, there'd be times I'd pay my rent. I had weekly rent then. And I would pay my rent, and I'd have to decide, okay, I have $20, $30 left. So do I buy cigarettes or do I buy food? And so I would have to sit there and basically figure out what I'm gonna buy. Like, is it cigarettes, food? And I love my cigarettes. I mean, literally, I used to have to do this. Broke as a joke. There'd be times that I would buy cigarettes and do without food for the rest of the week. That's why when you first saw me, okay, for you OG Tyler's Tarot subscribers, remember when I first started, I was skinny as a rail. My face was like, skinny. I was like the skinny. That's because I wasn't eating. I wasn't eating. If you put that with the Adderall, I had no appetite either. I mean, I used to take my Adderall every day because I was prescribed Adderall. I used to take it to kind of curb my hunger because I didn't have money for food. And you know how Adderall will make you go days on end without eating. Dead serious. But when it wears off is when your appetite comes back, So that's why you saw me when I first got on Tyler's Tarot. That's why I was skinny as a rail, and I had like the skinny ass little kid. I looked like a little kid back then. Well, so I decided one day before I had went to work, or actually over the course of a month or two, something kept saying, go ahead and start you a channel. It wasn't literally saying it, but it was that feeling. You know that feeling you get when that little feeling, that little nudge you get. Like, start a channel, Tyler. I was like, oh, I was thinking to myself, nobody's gonna watch it. It's not gonna do anything. And so after two, I kept putting it off. I'm like, well, whatever. And then finally, I was like, you know what? Let me do 3 videos. I think it was like Aries, Pisces, Gemini. I can't remember, so long ago. And I put them up on YouTube before I went to work that day at the shop I used to work in. Well, at lunch break, I decided to check my channel and see what the progress was to see if anybody had watched the videos. And in a day, I had already gained 800 subscribers, and there was a couple thousand views on the videos collectively. And I said, what? What the fuck? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I had uploaded the videos in that day at work. I checked my YouTube, and I had gained 800 subscribers in one day, and already the 3 videos I put up were collectively had 2,000 or 3,000 views on them. And I said, no way. And so I just started uploading more videos. And the next thing I know, the channel took off, and I was able to actually my quit my job because the videos were bringing in money. And at that time I did personal reads, which I don't do anymore. But um, and that's really how it all started. It's really no big mystery to it. But like I say, people say you were so skinny when you first started. That's because I wasn't eating. I didn't have no money to eat. It was either cigarettes or food. And like I said, cigarettes was a necessity to me. I remember having to decide whether I was going to get me a meal or a pack of Marlboros. Dead serious. Um, and I look back and go, damn, I've come a long way. I've come a long way. I just can't believe I still wake up to this day. I wake up and go, this just can't be real. This can't be real. Just 3.5 years ago, I was in my car at lunch break, on my lunch break with no food to eat. I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it up. And you have to keep in mind, at one point I was homeless. I was homeless. I was homeless. I honestly had no home at one point. There was in my 20s, I went like 2 or 3 years homeless. I take that back. It was probably I would say a year and a half of homeless, not 3 years. That's kind of too over, yeah. But that's what happened, you know. And to this day, I look at my life and I go, not that I'm some big, huge star, but I'm thinking to myself, this is a big advancement, a big step up compared to where I used to be. And so that's why I still, to this day, I thank Tyler's Tarot. To this day, I thank all of y'all. To this day, I wake up and I still can't believe my life. In a day that goes by, I don't think about how Tyler's Tarot has changed my life. So, and it can happen to anybody. Please, anything that's pulling you towards it, anything that has you feeling, anything that you want to pursue, just pursue it. Pursue that thing that really you're passionate about, that drives you. Pursue it. You just never know where you'll end up. You'll never know. And like I said, to this day, I'm gonna say it again. Every day I wake up, there's not a day that goes by that I don't thank Tyler's Tarot for changing my life. It changed my life. Y'all changed my life. I couldn't believe it. I just still can't believe to this day. It's just like every day I wake up, it's a dream. It's a dream to me. It's a dream. It's like somebody gonna pitch me and wake me up, And so that's the story of Tyler's Tarot. Well, thank y'all for all the compliments. Appreciate that. And the comments. Appreciate that. But I just urge you to pursue that thing that you want. Whatever that is that drives you. It doesn't have to be a tarot channel, but anything that drives you, anything you feel passionate about, go for it. Because I am a living proof that if you put your mind and heart towards something, that it really can change your life. I do go on Instagram sometimes. It's very far and few between. It's very rare, but I do go on there. Tyler's Tarot on Instagram. And with that being said, I just wanted to get that out there because a lot of people ask me how this all started, and there you go. That's how it started. Tyler's Tarot was created out of heartbreak and disaster, and so I took something that really I feel like I needed those experiences to have what I have now. Because like I said, my mid-20s were the worst time of my life. Was the worst time of my life. Unrequited love, homeless, living paycheck to paycheck. And I feel like I needed all those experiences to turn me into what I am now and be able to, inspire others. That's what I feel, So that's how I feel. And I'll never get used to it. But just go for whatever calls you, go for it. I'm telling you. All right, so with that being said, you all have a good one. I just wanted to talk about that. Y'all have a good one. I got to get on the road in about a couple hours, so I got to get showered and dressed and all that, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.